Welcome to Newcastle University for British Championship Basketball. I'm your commentator, Drew Lasker, alongside Sarah Burkett for this incredible semifinal. One of these teams, Birmingham Rockets versus Newcastle University, will be punching their ticket to the championship game. These are the type of games you play for, you train for in the offseason, Sarah.
They absolutely are. These are the ones you live for. Both teams, crazy records. They've all been involved in some 100-plus point games, so we are set up for an exciting game today.
Absolutely. You talk about it. Newcastle finishing up second, stumbling their way across the finish line. Meanwhile, Birmingham right behind them in third. They've split both games this season, winning on each other's floor, but the narrative between the two are the style of plays. Newcastle, we know they want to light up the scoreboard, while Birmingham, they want to get in a defensive stance and lock you up.
Yeah, defensively, when we saw them in the trophy final, that's exactly what they did against Bradford. That's what held them down. So I think defensively, they're a powerhouse to watch. Charles Smith has really drilled that in at head coach. So it's very much a style of play, conflicting, and we'll see who comes out on top today.
Well, how much will that championship that Birmingham won not very long ago in March benefit them coming into today?
Hugely. I think it's confidence boosting. They've already been on this stage. They know could be their final game tonight. For somebody it is. So this is huge to get through tonight, and they've already played on that stage already to say you either win or you lose today to win something. So they're used to this. They're battle tested. This is the point in the season you want to be able to say that you are that. So Birmingham have that. Newcastle aren't necessarily not battle tested. They've been in their fair share of overtimes and close games already, but as far as playing for silverware and the one and done go home mentality, they haven't been there yet.
Well, if today is any reflection on Newcastle's season, you are in store for probably a buzzer beater, an overtime game, or something that's going to come down to the dying seconds. But let's focus on the star watch. Plenty of stars on the floor. Let's start with Newcastle. Who do you have your eyes on?
For me tonight, I think it'll be Sam Trunley. He's been a standout. He's really their motor. He's come off the bench a couple times. I think he'll be coming off the bench tonight as head of their starting five. We haven't seen come through yet, but he's definitely someone that has the ability to change the pace of the game completely. So he's one that can score the ball. He knows how to facilitate, and he's one that I think definitely I have my eyes on. Sam
Trunley, the MVP of the Bucks championship game, that shocker against Loughborough, averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists a game this season. On the other side, the Birmingham Rockets. Who you got your eye on?
Oh, this is a tough one. It's going to have to be Zach Powell for me tonight, though. He is so much fun to watch. I think he's had some slower games where he gets off to slow starts, but I think his ability to come alive in the second half of basketball games is something that's huge for this team. And he's someone that I think, especially defensively, Newcastle really need to worry about. So when he gets going, everybody gets going, and that's the type of person on a team that you need to slow down early.
Zach Powell, I describe him as a game changer. Played a couple of years in the BBL, formerly now known as the SLB, currently averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists a game. So keep your eyes locked in on him. Now let's move on to the guys at the helm, the coaches for Newcastle. Mark Elderkin, how would you describe his style?
Mark Elderkin is a stoic man.
You think?
I think when you see him and you experience him, I always joke, like in the wild, in normal life, he's such a stoic human. And even in those tight moments in games, when you do see him get mad, it's somehow level-headed mad, where it's always the same level. He's just angrier at that level. So I think that leads to a lot of trust with players, because he's never too high, never too low. And it's, I've been on the table for a lot of these games, seeing them head into overtime and close games. So he's a very stoic, put-together human.
Yeah, perfectly described. I will challenge anyone out there to find a coach in British basketball that is calm, cool, collected as Mark Elderkin on the other side. Charles Smith, a.k.a. The Prince, a BBL legend, a champion, a Newcastle Eagle, Hall of Famer. I mean, there's nothing an MVP. Should I go on and on and on? How would you describe his style?
I should really be asking you, considering he's your former teammate. But, I mean, similar vibes. You know, he's battle-tested as a player as well. So I think, you know, when you translate that into coaching, it does lend itself to a level of calmness. But he's up there really rowdy with his guys as well, which is what I think feeds that defensive energy from them. Watching him coach in that trophy final, you know, that was exactly what you saw from him. He's up there with his guys. That's built the trust. So, but what's your take on him as a coach?
Well, I thought that because he was such an incredible scorer, over 7,000 points, former MVP, I thought that naturally he'll be an offensive-minded coach. But obviously his former coach had something on him because Fab Florida was all about that defense. And so obviously he has put his imprint on that side of the ball here with Birmingham this season. I caught up with him a little bit earlier, and I asked him, is it different experience a championship from a player to a coach? And he said most definitely, because the feeling is he was able to enjoy the other guy's success. He was like, I didn't score any points. I didn't get in a defensive stance, so it's more about being happy for the guys.
Yeah. Have you experienced that same differential going from playing to coaching?
Not yet. I'm working on getting there. I'm working hard. But anyways, we got action coming up for you. 2 minutes until tip-off. BCB semifinal. The 2 seed locking horns with the number 3 seed Newcastle University, the host, against Birmingham Rockets. They were just here not long ago. I actually was in the building watching that game, and Birmingham came and played spoiler. Newcastle had their eyes on that title, but since that loss, Newcastle stumbled across the finish line 3-3. Is there anything that you can pinpoint their form down the stretch?
Oh, I think for them, it's the togetherness that they've been able to put together. You know, they had some changes. They've had some big injuries. Messiah Jones missing quite a few games in the beginning. Sam Trunley now coming off the bench rather than starting. You know, the addition of Hafiz and then him getting injured. Rowell coming back and then getting injured. You know, they've had a lot of changes, and I think in this last stretch it's been very consistent with the 5 that they've had, and you even notice in substitutions and how Mark rotates his bench. They've got a lot of consistency to look forward to, so they know what's coming in the game. They know when to push. They know when to pick their moment, and I think that that's made a big impact for them.
50 seconds until tip-off. Starting lineups for Newcastle: Bradley, Dean, Hendry, Jones, Reed, and the big-time scorer, possibly MVP, Thames over for Newcastle. On the other side for Birmingham, we got Blaine, Donaldson, McGregor, Zach Powell, followed by Okosimi. So those are the players that will be getting the party started. Birmingham will be laced in the beautiful, flawless angel white jerseys. And Newcastle, they're laced in the business blue. Capacity crowd here at the university. The city has come out to support the local franchise and hopefully able to cheer them on to a final. Players beginning to enter the court. Sarah, what is the last words that the coach will be saying to the players as they're walking onto the court?
40 minutes. Both of these teams need to string together 40 minutes of basketball. There can't be a dip. Those third quarter dips that are, you know, so many teams will talk about. I think for Newcastle, it generally tends actually to come more at the beginning of the fourth, their style. But 40 minutes of basketball, this very well could lead to more than 40 minutes of basketball, knowing these two teams.
Yep.
But I think that would be the message from both coaches to these guys.
Well, both teams in that first matchup in Birmingham, double overtime. Ultimately, Newcastle coming up on top. And as we mentioned before, Birmingham stealing one here just weeks ago. And we are off and running. Newcastle on the 1s and 2s to begin. Number 6, McGregor. Nowhere to go. Here's Ron Blaine. Keep your eyes on him. Former Newcastle Knight getting the party started.
Yeah, there goes him. You know, when he goes off and gets going early, that's so big for him. So seeing the ball go through the basket early, I know it's going to be confidence boosting for him.
Well, he has that look in his eyes. You think there's a little motivation there?
There's got to be. I mean, he's been here before.
Well, Newcastle opening things up from beyond the arc. Reed stroking it from the corner. Here's Powell on Sarah's Star Watch, the lefty, inside, and Birmingham. Back-to-back paint touches, 4-3 here early. Here's Thames, the incredible scorer for Newcastle all season long. Has been pretty much unstoppable, getting downhill to his left. Backdoor clock at 5. Gotta let it go, and blocked there by McGregor. Here's Powell coming inside, dropping it off. Donaldson and Birmingham with the momentum.
Donaldson is huge for them, MVP of the trophy final. He's such a capable scorer. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. And that was why my highlight was on Zach Powell. You know, what he creates is so good for everybody else around him. You know, and then obviously my star watch tonight is coming off the bench. But on the court right now, Thames, like you mentioned, he's been a prolific scorer thus far. So he's definitely one to watch as well.
Well, substitutions coming in for Newcastle early. Speaking of Donaldson, I met him in 2005 as a baby. I came over to the UK for the first time, and his dad, Dip Donaldson, hosted myself along with 12 other guys hungry, thirsty for an opportunity.
Wow.
So a little flashback there,
yeah,
connection.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle, we talked about how they want to get up and down, and so far it's Birmingham who are scoring at will at the moment. Donaldson. Zach Powell looking to get inside. He's dropping it off again for his second dime, and back-to-back slam dunks by the young fella, Okasimi. Birmingham with the 5-point lead. Here's Bradley. Nowhere to go. Stripped away. 3-on-2 opportunity developing. Powell to Blaine, who drops it inside. And now forces the Knights into time.
Yeah, and I mean, that's that momentum shift you see. Defense leading into offense. That wasn't necessarily anything too special offensively from them. That's just momentum, guys cutting in the right space, but it all starts on their defensive energy. They're syncing off. Obviously, the substitution of having Finn in the game means that whoever's guarding him, they can kind of sync off a little bit because they're not worried about him from that three-point threat. So they get hands in, and they stop guys like Bradley Dean being able to get those easy two-point buckets.
Well, this is Birmingham's DNA. They want to get down and dirty defensively, force tough shots, have done that so far, and also use their defense to create offense. And everything so far in the first 3 minutes seems to fit the DNA of Charles Smith and company.
Yeah, and when you're talking on defense like that and everybody's fired up and moving on a string, it's really easy to play out in transition. So similar style of play that Newcastle are capable of, but they just need to find themselves defensively.
Well, Coach Mark Elderkin, never usually demonstrative, always cool, as you see in that time out there, not panicking. We know that this team can put up buckets in a hurry, but how will they respond to the early adversity? Messiah, guarded by Donaldson. Here's Bradley, nearly stripped away. Birmingham again forcing a tough shot. Going inside the Blaine, using the footwork. Great ball movement. Donaldson looking to lace it up from beyond the arc, comes up short. Thames with the fall away. Newcastle so far 1 for 5 from the field. Needing a stop here. Staring down a double-figure deficit from the jump. Powell hounded by Hendry. Donaldson tries again, and this time strokes it.
Yeah, that's someone you can't close out with hands down. He looked in front of him. But he's going to give him one back.
Great response there from Reed to get Newcastle's second 3-ball of the afternoon. And then on the other side, able to force their first turnover of the afternoon. Well, all of the players we thought will have the offensive explosion, it wasn't Reed.
It was not Reed.
Looking to go 3 for 3. And if you're Newcastle, you got to do a better job of getting back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Slow the ball down. Don't let that pass come easy.
Bradley from the Angel of the North on top. Newcastle, 3 triples, 5 minutes into this affair. Birmingham going inside to Donaldson. Sees a double team. Powell, not known for his outside shooting, passes it up. Donaldson, back-to-back triples.
Yeah, and Donaldson, this is him in a nutshell. He's so capable of volume scoring like that, and they've let him get going in the first quarter.
Nice feed! Bringing the house down off the backdoor cut. And that'll wake the crowd up.
That'll wake everybody up. My goodness, I about came out of my seat. Good for him.
Wow. I didn't know he had that in the locker. A timely cut from the baseline and then putting a couple of Birmingham defenders in a body bag.
Yeah, and that was something that Okasimi, the last time they were here defensively, that kind of help side, weak side for them was something that they struggled with. But, as Newcastle are finding an answer to kind of packing in the paint, Birmingham are going to need to do the same thing as guys start to get better at cutting off ball and they start to find those lanes to get to the rim. Because Newcastle do tend to live and die by the three-point shot. But as they start getting into the paint, that's where it starts to get dangerous for Birmingham.
Well, Jaron completes the three-point play. 80% on the season. Here's Bradley. Newcastle, 6-point deficit. Looking to get feet in the paint. Falls away, and Bradley introduces himself to this semifinal.
Yeah, and this 5 that's out there right now, all 5 for Newcastle are very capable scorers, and this is a difficult group to defend for Birmingham.
And just like that, deficit down at 4. Crowd looking for a stop. 5 on the clock. Here's Powell. Sizing up, stepping back to his right. Great defense there by Newcastle. Here's Thames on the run, on the loose. This is when Newcastle are at their best. Trunley getting his first taste of this semifinal. Nearly stolen away by Blaine.
Yeah, and I like that rebound there from Thames. His first step was ready to get downhill, not sizing up the defense, just going, getting out and seeing what he can get out ahead of him. So I think that was a lot better offensive possession for Newcastle.
Newcastle looking to attack. 3-ball corner pocket. And Newcastle, I think the offense has waken up.
I think Bradley Reed, whatever he ate for breakfast this morning and lunch today, he needs to keep doing that. Whatever game day routine happened today, make that happen again.
Powell, defended by Reed. 5 on the clock, snatches back, nowhere to go, gets contact. He is fouled. Zach Powell on Sarah's Star Watch. 19 points, 5 boards, 5 assists a game. 76% on the line on the season. As we talked about it before, is that game changer, that spark for Birmingham. One free throw to go. Knocks down both. Larry Dury for Newcastle enters as Thames again. Here's Birmingham. Powell from the wing, too strong. Over the top, here's Jaron Thames. Blaine able to get back. Trunley running out of real estate, gobbled up by Blaine. Great defense here by Birmingham. And great defense by the young fella Larry Dury, forcing the offensive foul.
Yeah, Messiah Jones, probably very capable of playing out at the wing, but he's playing in that 4-5 spot. When he gets that back down, very capable of scoring back to the basket, but I think just be patient. Maybe it's a kick back out and get it back to him situation.
Larry Duru, pardon me. Make sure we clean that up a little bit by the Birmingham fans, making sure I keep it tidy. Here's Powell working the baseline. Blaine looking to introduce himself to the final, and he does, and waves at the Newcastle bench.
I love that energy from Ron. He's absolutely a menace, and, this is basically home court for him.
And Dean stepping back, knocking it down from Gosford. Powell looking to go back in the paint. Back outside, Donaldson left alone, short. 22-23, 2 minutes here in the first quarter. This one exactly how we thought it would be. Back and forth we go. Here we go. Birmingham on the loose. Powell, this is when he's at his best. Steps around, drops it off, but the babysitter isn't home.
Yeah, and he's used to having Okasimi running down the lanes with him so that he can throw that little wraparound pass to the big fella. So that transition offense is very much a staple of Birmingham.
Bradley Dean over the Trunley. The three-headed monster of Newcastle with the three guards. Trunley, Thames, Dean. Here's Jones, 4 on the clock. Gets a defender in the air. Great ball movement. Dean!
Beautiful ball movement there. That's when Newcastle looked good.
Terrific ball movement by Newcastle. Sees them with a 2-point lead. And Blaine says, not so fast.
This is just bucket for bucket, and this is where, I think Charles Smith in the break, they got a minute left in this first quarter, is going to be saying, we got to play defense. This is where it counts. Here's
Jones with the spin, gobbled up by Blaine. Dean, extra pass. Reed has already hit 2 so far. Jones looking to stroke it as well, and wow. Is it raining outside?
Everybody wants to be a part of the three-point party today.
Here's Powell, a little shake and bait. Not this time. 50 seconds, Newcastle 2-point lead. Looking to add on to it. Here's Dean. You got to kind of go over that. Drop coverage, and they pay for it. As Bradley Dean, 14 first quarter points. Five-point lead just like that. Blaine dropping it off to Duru. Not this time. Newcastle, shot clock turned off, can hold for 1. Dean, flawless from the field so far, 5 for 5. Looking to get Reed his third triple can. Tipped up, Dean again. Blaine, 2 seconds ago. Donaldson from half court, and that will do it. The first quarter, Newcastle, after starting off slow, 31 points, just like that.
This is a high-scoring first quarter. I think it is very much worth mentioning. These are volume-scoring teams. I think both of these teams, in order to be able to slow the momentum of each other down, this is a defensively-minded group now. I think both coaches, that's what they're going to be harping on. I don't think either team need to worry about putting that orange ball in the basket. It's going to go there, but it's about what shots you're letting guys get, and I think that defensively Newcastle need to be much better in transition coming into the second quarter. And as well, that drop coverage, ball screen coverage for shooters such as Sam Trundley, Bradley Reed coming off that ball screen. The bigs coming in can't be in that drop coverage.
Well. I don't know about you, but I would love to get in on some of that action. That looks fun.
That did look fun.
Man, you're going to get shots. You're going to get looks, and we know you like a little stop and pop. You like a little 3-ball action. This would suit you perfectly.
Yeah, this is definitely a basketball game that I would like to be a part of. Drew, I just took a second to look around. I didn't realize how many people had filled in since we started.
It is.
It's busy in here. I was a little wrapped up in the basketball, but I love the crowd that's come out tonight to support Newcastle tonight.
The city has definitely showed up and showed out for this blockbuster popcorn, whatever you want to describe it, because 57 points in the first quarter, and I got a feeling that this thing isn't going to slow down. But if you're Birmingham, though, you cannot get caught up in the rat race that Newcastle tries to play.
No, absolutely not. This is play their style of play, but when you look at coaching staff here, Charles Smith knows that this is a game that's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. This is one that you've just got to stay in, and I think both coaches especially will know that. But from a defensive perspective, I imagine that was the message that Charles had for his guys.
Well, Eric Donaldson's brother getting in on the comments, saying he is proud, and he remembers that trip way back in 2005. I'm old now. Well, here we go. Second quarter underway, 31-26. Dean, again, Birmingham going underneath that and getting in trouble.
Yeah, in trouble. That's repping shots right there. Basically, they make the joke of a cone drill, and that's what Bradley Dean just made out of that.
When you look at Birmingham, I don't see the offensive explosion to be able to keep up with this style of play. Here's Gale. He is another player who can keep up, but what a great defensive possession there by Newcastle. If you're Birmingham, you just have to bend, not break. Survive the half, survive the onslaught. Tighten things up. Jones over to Thames.
Yeah, Thames is so, lanky. He's a tall player at that, playing at the guard spot. But, when he does get into the paint, and he's able to elevate so high above defenders that he can just get that little push shot up. And so often it drops that he's getting lots and lots of and ones. But you see him very often at the free throw line in these games.
Well, a terrific season. 80% from the line, but 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and I've seen his face on the socials, the BCB socials, all season long. I mean, just a couple of games ago, him and Dean, 240 balls in one game. That caught my attention.
Yeah, he's definitely been, I use the word prolific with him. He's been a prolific scorer.
Nice drop off. Blaine feeding McGregor, and that's when Ron Blaine is at his best, catching it in the mid-post, making reads, making decisions. Rockets looking for a stop. Nice cut by Thames, leaving Reed alone again, overcooks it, gets one more crack at it. 0 for 2 on this trip. Birmingham getting their stop. Here's McGregor getting inside, stripped away. We'll stay here. Baseline out of bounds for the Rockets. Donaldson loses his footing, but Ian McDonald saying that he was pushed before. That's the second foul on Reed, excuse me. And so Reed will take a seat after 9 points, 3 for 7 from beyond the arc.
And Jason Sodine subbing into the game. My Jason Sodine fun fact, I actually used to play with him at Bristol Flyers. He went to UWI. He's from Bristol.
Oh, wow. So you're showing your age as well then, huh?
Oh, don't do that, Drew.
35-28 here in Newcastle University for the BCB semifinals. Jones. Messiah Jones, 5 points personal. Newcastle lead up to 9. Ripped away by Jones. 2-on-1 opportunity. Trunley hangs. Not before the long arm of the law. Ron Blaine explaining this case of the verticality rule, but then McDonald is saying he came down with the right hand there at the end.
Yeah, and he probably did. That's a tough one. And I mean, Sam Trunley, very crafty at being able to, get up and put himself in a position to draw that foul. But, I think worth mentioning in that last possession, that's where defense led to offense. Messiah Jones, he's a fantastic defender. And quite often in some of these, big wins, you're not seeing him have huge stat lines, but he is such an intangibles guy. They play so much better with him on the floor. He's getting deflections. He's that energy guy, and he can knock down that little midi that he just had the previous possession. He turns that into great one-on-one defense, and that leads to another score down the other end.
Jones playing behind the scenes of the three-headed monster here. As you described, they're a glue guy for Newcastle this season.
Yeah, he's absolutely been a glue guy.
Newcastle with their biggest lead of the afternoon, switching up their defense. Disguising a 2-3, switching over to man. Temporarily confusing the Rockets. Here's Dean. Trunley with space, unloads. And if you're the Rockets, I think you have to start going over those screens.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the adjustment to happen as well.
Because the Newcastle scorers seeing a lot of daylight on these 3 balls attempt as Blaine nearly loses it, drops it in. Donaldson with a nice touch.
Yeah, Donaldson, again, showing himself. He got going early, and that's one guy you don't want to continue to see the light of day. They need to absolutely lock him down if Newcastle want to maintain a score heading into halftime.
Jones dumps it inside. Jaron Tames, little shake and bake, skips over. Jones from deep, can't connect. Rockets without their veteran, Orland Jackman, so impactful. Speaking of impactful, Donaldson trying to carry the load.
Yeah, and that puts it 2-possession game now, and just like that, teams that can score like this can see this lead slip away.
Well, great hustle here by Birmingham. Martin Gill showing the hustle. Zach Powell. Gill, pump fake, gets the body in the air. Great ball movement. Blaine again. Best ball movement of the afternoon. Donaldson can't take advantage. Hands inside. Powell saves it. Here's Blaine. Fresh clock. You almost feel like the Rockets need a score in this possession, and they do, just like that. They deserve that.
They had enough opportunity. About time.
You can see them turning up the hustle meter here in the second quarter. Winning the 50-50 battle. 4-point ball game. Capacity crowd here at the university. Standing room only. Birmingham looking to sit them down. Loose ball foul called on the Knights. And just as you thought Newcastle was going to blow the door wide open, here comes the Rockets.
Yeah, and I think, what you can see from them right now, rather than just getting a good shot, they're hunting a great shot. They're getting those pump fake, hitting paint, kickouts, and they're waiting to get the right guy, the right shot. And that's what's led in this last kind of minute stretch, them stringing some good possessions together to score.
Well, Powell turns it over. Meanwhile, Trunley overcooks it. Reception incomplete.
He's trying to say there might have been a tip there, but I'm not sure I believe him.
Yeah, we had a good bird's eye view there. Too much protein on that pass there. Rockets, 4:58 remaining here in the second quarter, which has been nothing short of entertainment here in this semifinal. Rockets looking to shrink the lead once again, answering the bell, looking adversity in the face, standing tall. Theo Riley doing what he does best. Jaron Thames fouled on the floor. And how about Theo Riley coming in and just causing havoc defensively?
Yeah, I mean, that's his immediate impact. That's what you hope from your bench guys, that as soon as you put them in, they have the impact that you want them to in his role. And that's something that Theo's had over the last couple years for this team. You know, he's so capable of being an absolute defensive menace. Yes, a scorer, but, you know, I think where he really does see his momentum come from is his defensive energy.
And that's important, right? When you got a team like Newcastle who relies on offense and has three guys who, you know, are the lead singers, you need other guys that complement them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Theo's very much a team player in that respect, so I think he's great for that. You even look at, you know, the rest of the bench that you've got there. Jason Sodine plays a similar role. Max Matthews, Makai Hendry, you know, they're all very capable of doing that. But, you know, Birmingham, similar vibe, I would say, for them. You know, they've got guys that all want to come in and give that same defensive energy. So I think right now, though, I'll say for Birmingham, I think missing the presence of Orland Jackman right now, you can really feel, you know, seeing him walk in a boot today was surprising to me, and I knew was going to kind of change the energy that you feel from Birmingham. But I think this game would be looking different for Birmingham right now. The feel that they have as a team, especially offensively, would be different with him on the floor right now. Yeah,
he's such a master at drawing fouls inside the paint, helps on the boards, and also that 7-foot wingspan that he has. So these open looks that Newcastle have, they'll be just a little bit tougher if he was involved. Number 13, the former Newcastle Eagle, a long career in what was formerly known the BBL, now has found a home here during the back nine of his career with the Rockets. 4-point lead. Dean, fadeaway, perfect. Trundley, excuse me.
I saw him warming that shot up before we got going today.
I mean, I don't know how I got it confused because I've seen that shot over and over again in the Bucks championship game. The way all three are scoring, I'm just going to say one of the three.
Yeah.
Make it easy. Here's Blaine, right to left, cross, drop off. Nice pass. McGregor finishes it off.
Yeah, court vision of Ronald Blaine is something he deserves to be complimented on. He is a fantastic facilitator.
Trundley getting back inside. Riley. Jones, spin cycle to the left hand. What a move.
Yeah, and he's able to finish over the length of Okasimi.
Back and forth we go. 6-point lead for the Knights as they look to go inside in the third dunk of the afternoon for Okasimi. Luke Okasimi, 6 points, all dunks.
Yeah, what I love is right after that possession, as we're waiting for the ball to come in, you can hear Ronald Blaine yell, "Let's get a stop." And that's where the energy comes from. That's what he brings.
Jones, Trundley attacking the closeout. Mitty, too strong. Blaine, your wish is my command. He gets the stop. 4-point deficit, looking to eat into it in the final 3 minutes of the half. This is what Blaine is at his best, right here on the mid-post, maxed up against his former teammate. Fades away, and it rolls in. Not before letting the crowd know about it, saying, "You've seen that before."
Yeah, it was a friendly roll from him.
Getting the home team bounce. Stripped away by Powell. Birmingham. 2-on-1. Zach Powell! Just like that, the Rockets have leveled things off in Newcastle.
Clip that. That's how you play in transition.
Not this time. Coach Charles Smith looking for an unsportsmanlike.
So normal off-ball foul.
Well, the pendulum has swung here. Birmingham all of a sudden with the momentum. 1-3-1 defense by Newcastle. Powell looking to attack. Defenders getting to his left. Too strong. Jones steps around, meets bodies, nowhere to go. Another defensive possession by the Rockets. Blaine bursting out like a rocket. Not before drawing the offensive foul on who?
Theo Riley. That's a teammate. He knew what was coming. He bodied him up and said, let me take this charge, put my body on the line. And he did that.
I think they might have had a share or two of battles in practice over the years. Riley just showing off that veteran leadership. Blaine will go take his first blow of the afternoon. 14 points to his name.
We have a little shot clock correction coming.
Finishing quarters, always so important. Why?
Huge. I mean, it's the momentum change heading into halftime. It changes the vibe that you're going to be talking about as soon as you get in the locker room and you set the tone.
Jones 360s out. Here's Powell matched up against Trunley. Stopping slow over the top to Okasime. 8 points personal. Birmingham back on top. Jaron floats it up, gets his own offensive rebound, but he's fouled.
Yeah, and that dip that you saw Birmingham take, Okasimi wasn't on the floor, and that's where Zach Powell can be so crafty. Once he gets into the paint, he can dump that ball off to Okasimi and just get those easy dunks, and that's exactly what they want to be volume scoring in. So Newcastle meeting that energy with transition offense, but Thames doing what he does best, getting his own rebound, maybe stat padding a little bit and get a putback, and now he's going to get 2 free throws.
Well, 6 points to his name, well under his average, 80% on the season, as he misses his second free throw of the afternoon. And don't blame that on me.
Yeah, he begged that one to go in. I saw him.
He was on a bending knee. Takes care of business on the second. Fresh bodies entering. Mughal getting his first taste of the semifinal. Here's McGregor on the ones and twos. 1:10 remaining. Donaldson, 13 points in the first half. McGregor, air ball, Powell, there to save the day and cleans up the mess.
Zach Powell is everywhere.
The Rockets back up by 3. Trunley fades away, and man, he has mastered that fadeaway.
He absolutely has. He was working on it. Theo Riley was warming him up ahead of this game.
Great defense there by Dean, who brings the house down. Bradley Dean turning defense into offense. Newcastle back on top.
Go ahead and get up there, Bradley Dean. I didn't know he had that in his bag.
I didn't either. But it is the semifinals.
Yeah,
it's win or go back home.
This is the time to show it. If you got it, get it out the bag.
Powell. Tipped up by Donaldson. Thames over the top. Trunley and Newcastle up 3. And Charles Smith calls for time. Newcastle on a run with the momentum to finish the quarter, the half, as you described previously.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say you need a timeout, and then I'm looking at the time, and I'm saying 5.6 seconds. Maybe we don't need the timeout, but actually, this could be a very crucial possession for Birmingham. Likely, he's going to advance the ball into his own court, and he's going to try to really get a score out of this, because right now, this is going to be a close game. This is one where you want to tie things up if you can, but at least put themselves at 1 point down to head into the locker rooms to reconvene at halftime.
Ronald Blaine, 2 fouls. But do you play the strategy game and put him in here for the final offensive possession?
I mean, I'm peeking over, so I guess I'm kind of cheating right now, but it doesn't look like they're going to put him in. But I think no. I think this is where you need the 5 that are out there right now. Ronald Blaine alone, obviously could have an impact on winning them this game, but I think that as a group, they need confidence. This last 5 seconds, they get a score. That's what builds that trust running into the second half, that the 5 that are out there right now, everybody has a piece and their hand in the cookie jar of getting themselves back into this game.
Well, Newcastle leading the way. Bradley Dean, 19 points here on the other side. Ronald Blaine, 14. Donaldson, 13. Flanked by a great supporting cast on both sides thus far. Final 6.5 as you're unable to advance it in the first half, I thought.
You're right. Oh, no.
I let you go. I didn't want to do that to you, but, well, 3 seconds here, nowhere to go. Donaldson with the look at the buzzer and falls short, and that is how the first half will conclude. Newcastle halfway to the century mark. The Rockets not far behind them. 47 shake up. Put a bow on that first half for us. What'd you see?
Sorry, I'm just emotionally recovering from getting a rule wrong. But high-scoring first half for both teams. They're used to scoring like this, volume scoring for them. We've seen highlight plays going for both of them already. Highlights that we're going to see on both teams' social medias already in the first half. So I think heading into the second half, it's a defensive game from here on out. Both teams need to really lock in defensively. Ball screen coverage, especially for Birmingham, and transition defense for Newcastle. So both things to highlight for them heading into the second half, but can't be going bucket for bucket heading into especially the fourth quarter.
Well, offense is plenty here in the first half. As you described the second quarter, watching this game, I think it's safe to say that either team will be able to really stop one another. I think it'd be more about the timely stops that's going to be important, of making sure you stopping runs. Well, that's the first half. Make sure you go get a beverage, quick snack, and we'll be back for the second half action. Welcome back to Newcastle University for the BCB semifinal. The Knights 50, the Birmingham Rockets 47. Back and forth capacity crowd here in Newcastle. And what a product the BCB is putting on display here for the semifinal.
Yeah, seeing this league come together how it has and how well it's been managed and organized has been really refreshing to see this success happen. It's been a pleasure to be a part of. I've been doing, part of the stats and the tabling side of things for this, and that's been a pleasure. And I'm very excited to now also be on the commentary side of it. So they've really put it together well.
Well, Ian McDonald and the referee crew are ready for the second half. One of these teams will be punching their ticket to the championship game. 20 minutes, but still a lot of questions there. In the first half, Birmingham dominating the paint 28-10, but the equalizer, Newcastle making it up from downtown, going 9 for 20 there in the first half. And we are underway. The Rockets. Nice play call out of the half. And Powell somehow ends up with it. Not probably the way Charles Smith drew it up, but he'll take it.
Yeah, ouch. That's one where throwing it out of bounds, doing your best to save the ball from going out of bounds, but you don't want to do that under your own basket.
They always teach you to throw it, pass, half court read. Such a terrific first half from beyond the arc, but not since going 3 for 3 has cooled down a little bit. Blaine over to Powell. Powell from the corner and out the gate. The Rockets on a 5-0 run. Both teams with double-digit leads there in the first half, and you can see why. Get your popcorn buttered up, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a little something for you. Here's Dean stepping. Extra pass, Reed. Back door to Dean, nowhere to go. Blaine saves it, but not before stepping out of bounds first.
Fast feet from Ron there, but just not quite fast enough.
What is the actual description of the rule? You can't be the first person to touch it, or you have to have 2 feet established inside?
You have to be established inside when you catch it.
After stepping out of bounds?
Yes. If you've been out of bounds, you have to be all the way back in before you can then touch the ball, yes.
You sure?
Yes. You're making me question my rule knowledge.
Offensive rebound for the Knights to push the lead back up to 3. Donaldson. Crowd looking for a stop. Blaine looking to attack. Steps around, skips to Malou to the rim. Ronald Blaine with 16. 1-point ball game. Iverson cut. Patane spins around, nowhere to go, finds a crease, can't finish, ball tipped around, not before Okasime gobbles it up.
I'm not sure if that foul went to Jones or if it went to Thames.
Well, we will see in just a second. Meanwhile, the Rockets with an opportunity here. Donaldson Just too much hot sauce on that post-entry pass, and credit to the nice defense. The pressure forced him to make the errant pass. .730 here. Here's Jones. Impactful first half. Thames from outside buries it. Four-point lead for the Knights. UCLA action, flex cut from Powell. Matched up, stops, pops, rises above.
Yeah, Zach Powell is just so capable at three-level scoring. You know, he gets into the paint, he can facilitate as well, rise up and get that little jumper going. He is such a capable scorer.
Dean looking to rise up. Swept away by the Rockets. Blaine looking to get organized. Again, going back to that UCLA cut. Back to the flex, going back to the same play. Powell, this time defended a little bit better. Fades away. Great defense by the Knights. Pitch ahead. Grunley, extra pass. Dean, corner, ball, three pocket, got it. They just score so explosively.
Yeah, and it's quick too, but when it's falling, it's falling. What I don't want them to do is get too comfortable outside the three.
Blaine dribbles out on that one. Trunley with the quick release.
Little heat check, maybe.
Why not? Powell spinning off the defense, steps around, finds McGregor from the corner. He knocks it down as bodies collide. You would think this is a semifinal or something.
You would. I think the energy in here is maybe suggestive of that.
Both teams showcasing the best version of themselves, specifically on the offensive side. We talked about it before the half. Very unlikely that one of these teams all of a sudden is going to be able to squeeze the vice grips. I think it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, I agree. And this one, just a little bit of a momentum shift in play there. Messiah Jones gets an off-ball foul, and it's back to being a Birmingham possession again.
2-point deficit. Donaldson loses it again. Riley.
There he comes, fresh off the bench, and he has a defensive impact.
Thames loses it. Blaine dumps it inside. Bodies everywhere. Powell drops it off. Blaine with the pump fake, and things are locked up at 61. Blocked away. Great defensive effort there by the Rockets. Another opportunity to regain the lead. Here's Ron on the ones and twos, squeezing around the defense, doing this Harlem Globetrotter. Somehow is able to find Donaldson in the corner, and what a possession by the Rockets.
Oh my gosh, everybody's slipping and falling. Bodies are hitting the floor. I don't know if we need to mop the floor again or what we need to do, but all the momentum right now definitely falling with Birmingham.
Play the music, producer. 64-61 Rockets. How will the Knights respond? 6 on the clock. Gobbled up again by Okasimi. Really patrolling the rebound, and Donaldson count the bucket, and now the momentum have shifted to the Midlands.
Yeah, and that's Birmingham, just being able to break paint, looking to move fast, and they're not living and dying by the three-point line. And this is what I just mentioned about Newcastle. They're looking for that heat check outside the three. Right now, the paint needs to be broken before they're getting those kickouts at least. The kickout threes have been what's been falling, not the one stop and pop, dribble up threes. So I think that shift needs to occur for Newcastle. Still 2-possession game here, maintain here, and don't be going for those threes as much.
Well, if you want to get a sense of the pace here, Ronald Blaine asking for a water bottle during this little short intermission here. You got to be in good shape to be out here playing in this space.
Yeah, it's a little warm in here too. There's a lot of bodies in here.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have an official attendance count, but I wouldn't be shocked if this was a record attendance.
Yeah, I agree. There's people sitting double on chairs.
Even got NBA royalty in the house. Local product, Tosan. Stripped away by Newcastle. Terrific defense there by Hendry. Riley. 3:50 here in the third. Thames looking to get downhill, bodied up. He's fouled by McGregor. He will return back to the free throw line where he is 3 for 5 on the afternoon.
Yeah, and I like that possession from Hendry. You know, he had the option to maybe kick the ball ahead, but he held on to it, went back to the veteran and Theo Riley. They get the ball a little bit slowed down, still playing with pace. Thames is able to get downhill with pace, and he's rewarded at the free throw line. So that's the version of events I like best for Newcastle right now as they try to itch their way back into this.
Jaron Thames, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. The stat that really sticks out to me, Sarah, is as he misses both, but the Knights come back up with it. Great job by Hendry. Again, Jaron Black by under the rim, and what a terrific defensive possession by the Rockets.
Yeah, they just seem to be everywhere. Wherever the ball is going, they're just sucking the space up and not letting the ball get out.
Birmingham Rockets with a 4-point lead and 0 bench points.
Oh, that's a good stat line for the third quarter.
Dumps it inside. Donaldson loses it. Another body on the floor, but not before being kicked by a Rockets player. So possession points to the Knights. Both teams just unable to shake loose.
Yeah, I think whatever was in the secret sauce of halftime has definitely kind of spilled over to both.
Bodies collapsing here in Newcastle. Both teams leaving it all out there for a trip to the finals as Riley looks inside, doesn't like what he sees. Pocket pass, Hendry, 3-ball, corner pocket, lining it up.
That's a huge 3 from him.
Newcastle gets their stop. Thames fouled on the floor.
You know, I think it would be easy if you hadn't seen Jaron Thames play before to say maybe he's playing a little out of control, but somehow in the moments when he should be out of control, he knows where the ball is, he knows exactly where to put his body, still play downhill, play fast, and somehow, in the midst of the chaos, going through 2, get the ball up, and he's able to draw a foul.
Well, I watched this team in their very first scrimmage as Trundley not called on the floor. But I watched this team in preseason as all of the Americans entered. And the first thing that I said to Coach Elderkin is, Jaron Thames is wiry, and he's going to score a lot of points just because of his motor.
Yeah, he has the go about him, but tough bucket there from Sam Trundley that unfortunately doesn't count.
2-point ball game. Newcastle University, the location, BCB. Hendry, back-to-back triples. Newcastle back on top.
Yeah, great 3 from him. Momentum right now is with Hendry.
Blaine over to Donaldson, looking to return a favor from the corner. Can't connect. Meanwhile, here comes the Knights on the loose. Riley, Trundley with space, attacks, slithers himself in, and he's fouled. Both teams just continue to knock on the door in the act of shooting. So Trunley will head to the free throw line where he's 2 for 2 so far. Again, having a terrific season, 80% from the charity stripe on the season. The home team back on top by 3. Donaldson. Rockets working the ball side to side. Crowd chanting defense. Powell steps away, gets a defender in the air. Great defense by the Knights. Shot clock violation called. And even when the whistle blows, they still go.
Yeah, I just have to laugh at that one because that, I mean, I think in a nutshell sums up Sam Trunley. You know, he's going regardless, whether the lights are on, the lights are off, or the ball's in play, the ball's not in play. That man is about his basketball.
I mean, you may think that he's animated because there's a big crowd here in Newcastle, but again, reflecting to that first scrimmage I saw when it was just me and Elderkin in the gym, he was doing the same animations to the empty seats here in Newcastle. That is him.
Yeah, that is him. Behind closed doors or on the big stage, he is the same guy for sure.
Well, this is where he's at his best. This is where he thrives. He feasts in big moments. Somehow finds space.
Yeah, it's like you heard him talking about us.
Huge possession here by the Rockets. Now find themselves back down by 5. Going to the mid-post to Blaine. Over the top. Pump fakes and nice off the vert by Okasimi. Tom, say, give me that! Okasimi. Newcastle regains it. 10 on the clock. Dean, left to right. Swarms. Riley, left. Attacks. Nowhere to go. Hendry's already made 2 this half. And the place would have erupted had he knocked that one down.
Yeah, definitely would have.
71-68. 11-second differential off of game and shot clock. Donaldson, 5 seconds to work with. Gets inside, uses that strong body, and count the bucket.
Yeah, Eric Donaldson, that's exactly what he does well. You know, as much as he has a three-point shot on him, that makes him so hard to scout because you've got to close out to him, but you also won't want to give him space because he's got that inside presence and the ability to drive.
And once he gets the angle, he has the frame where he can keep those broad shoulders and keep you at bay.
Yeah, and he's played previously here in England, but as well some experience in Brazil on my research of him.
77% on the season, and now we're locked all the way at 71. Final 5 seconds. Bradley Dean looking to take it over by himself. Stops, pop, drop. Boy, 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 boy. What a third quarter. Only 2 points separating both teams. Newcastle 73 and the Rockets 71.
Yeah, you know, Drew, I've never actually commentated before playing a game, but if there was any game that I was going to commentate, I am fired up right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go play basketball right now. This is a game that will get you going.
I'm hyped. Not as hyped to go play, but like to go watch and cheer you on because, man, if you're a basketball fan, how can you not enjoy this as we're moments away from the fourth and final frame? Get in the comments Who you got? The Rockets? Or do you have the Knights? Let us know. Well, welcome back to Newcastle University, host of the BCB semifinals between the Newcastle Knights and the Birmingham Rockets. Back and forth, up and down like a seesaw all afternoon, and it comes down to this. And if you were unable to answer before, did those minutes in the third quarter lead you any closer to choosing a winner?
You know, I got asked this before the game as well. I can't tell you. I don't know right now. This is so 50-50 for me. I know both teams are so capable of showing up in the final minutes, but right now you got to treat this game like it's 0-0 and just play out these last 10 minutes.
Well, here we go. The fourth and final quarter, money time. The pressure at an all-time high, and Donaldson goes window. Not before he's called for a foul. I must assume it was on the body of Theo Riley. O'Reilly has struggled from the line this season, 38%. With the weight of the city on his shoulders. What changes at this juncture when you're shooting free throws? Something you do time and time again in empty gym. What changes now?
Yeah, I mean, free throws are talked about so often. It's that mental battle. You know, if you get in your own head and you're not thinking about it, it's one of those things that it's a mental game. It's the only thing you can practice in a gym. Time and time again, it's the same shot every time, but what's not the same and what's going on in your head?
Well, they come up empty on that possession. Dean comes up with it. Here's Trunley. Nice cut there by Riley. Plenty of time to work with. Jaron Thames been incredible this season at doing just that. Knifing himself to the rim. Newcastle up 4. Zach Powell can't respond. Foul called. And Donaldson in a little bit of predicament. 4 personal fouls. And that will send him to the sideline. That could be crucial because he has been the Rockets' safety blanket offensively. 21 points, 8 for 16. Thames able to take care of business on both of those attempts. This possession here at Birmingham, what do you need?
It's got to be a good one. I think this is a whole shot clock possession. I don't think this is a quick score. I think you hunt for a great shot here. Newcastle showing a lot of this 3-2 zone, which they've been trying to kind of go in that 1v1 style of basketball rather than really moving the ball and making that zone shift. So I think even if it is a matchup zone, which sometimes they do, Newcastle defensively, sometimes when they get into the zone, I can't even keep track of what's going on. So there was a zone they played about midway in the season, a little 1-3-1 matchup zone that, honestly, I could have watched it for hours and still not known what was going on. So they thrive in those environments, though, defensively.
That's what we would describe as junk defense.
Yep.
Sometimes it works, and sometimes
Yeah.
it looks exactly as its name.
Yeah, but with chemistry like they've been building right now, and especially this 5 out on the floor, this is a very capable defensive team for Newcastle. But, I mean, when you look at offensively coming down for Birmingham right now, there's a lot of threats on the floor right now. 3-point percentage for everybody outside the 3 right now is great, so that's what you want to see from them.
Martin Gale, the sharpshooter, currently 0 points along with the entire Rockets bench. And you read the room correctly. This feels like a very important possession for the Rockets. Gale looking to give the Rockets their first bench points. Comes up empty. Another body on the canvas. Riley, nowhere to go, hands it off. Thames over to Riley, extra pass. Hendry has already hit 2 there, not this time. You can cut the tension with a knife in this building. And speaking of knife, Blaine cuts through the defense and weaves into traffic and finishes it off.
Yeah, very timely score from him. He knows when to turn it on and go ahead and get to the rim.
18 points for Blaine. 20, excuse me. Thames, shot clock getting low at 4. Muscles inside, blocked away by McGregor. A timely defensive possession by the Rockets.
Yeah, and those ticky-tacky fouls kind of far away from your own basket off ball aren't necessarily the ones you want to be building up right now, but that sends Theo Riley to the bench with 3. But you bring another guy out, Messiah Jones, back onto the floor, who's also on 3.
Messiah Jones, 7 points personal, 5 assists. Birmingham down by 3. Powell looking to get inside. What a finish. Dean attacking immediately, nearly turns it over. Jones calmly walks it out. Right to left cross, squirming, getting around, extra pass, Hendry, buckets!
Yeah, and you know what? That possession starts from Messiah Jones breaking the paint. That gives you a kick out, a 1 more, and that's where they get a good 3 out of that.
4-point deficit for the Rockets. Powell, short. The Knights off and running. Hendry looking to go back to back, not this time. The city of Newcastle in strong. Nice dump off there. And how great has Okasime been today at just doing all the little things?
Yeah, he's been huge. You know, his defensive presence is, you know, a real big factor for Birmingham, being able to pack the paint like that. He's got shot blocking ability. But I think offensively has really been where he's changed the scout completely. You know, Zach Powell playing great off of him. Ronald Blaine being able to find him cutting off balls. So his ability to roll off ball screens as well and play above the rim, he gets rewarded with it right here at the free throw line.
His first miss of the afternoon after going 5 for 5 from the field, a double-double, 10 and 11, but only 56% from the free throw line on the season as he comes up empty on that withdrawal. Trunley with the mismatch, They sent a double inside. Teams bringing the house down. Newcastle up 6.
Yeah, and I love that patience there from Messiah Jones. He probably could have tried to back that down, but he waits for the cut and gets a good dunk out of it.
McGregor inside, nearly stolen away. Blaine, ball kicked around, and referee Crew right on top of it. Ronald Blaine in a little bit of pain. And right on time, or fatigue. And Coach Charles Smith calls for time, wants to talk it over. 4 seconds on this possession.
Yeah, and I mean that last possession, battling for the ball, bodies hitting the floor, that's a possession that would really sum up the entirety of this game. It's been like that from the tip. So I think that this is just huge for how Newcastle have been playing, but also Birmingham, you know, it's a game of runs. Basketball, regardless of what you do, each team is going to see their, you know, uptake in the game. And right now Newcastle are on that run. As we're heading into the final stretch of the fourth quarter, you want that final run to come in your favor. So how both teams respond right now defensively is what's going to matter.
Such a great point. It's felt that way all day. Whatever team had the momentum, the last run was going to walk out of here victorious.
Yeah, and I think at any point, had you asked me, I would have told you Birmingham were going to win. But at the moment, you know, Newcastle had the momentum. Who knows? So very much still feels like the game's 0-0 to me.
Both teams have had their fair share of leads, but both teams have conceded it. 6-point ball game, 5:53 here in Newcastle for this British Championship basketball semifinal. The winner, the golden ticket to the championship game. And how about that? You talk about timely.
Yeah, that's a big one for them right there. Coming out of a timeout, that's how you want your guys to respond.
The Rockets' first points off the bench this afternoon. And what a better time as Dean and a little bit in control. Jones!
I think we're going to talk about a goaltend here.
Oh, that is a crucial call here in real time. It looked good to me. Obviously, there was body contact. I'll let you be the judge.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it was on its way down yet. So, yeah, we're going to see two free throws.
Well, a great call by the referee Crew, doing it without the assistance of VR, which we have right here on Sarah's laptop. Thank you very much.
High-tech stuff over here.
Jones misses the first. Misses both. Both teams leaving a little money on the table from the free throw line. Blaine. McGregor getting inside and finishes it off with the lay. And Birmingham back in it, down by 1, just like that. Jones looking to attack and does. You think he was mad about those 2 missed free throws?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to respond, that's the right way to respond. So get mad in the right way.
Well, he goes right at Okasimi. Coach Charles Smith animated about that possession there. Luke able to shake it off. The final 5 minutes as we enter clutch time. 83-80, Newcastle. Howe, Blaine. He's already made 1. Tipped away. They'll get another bite of the apple. fresh clock. Powell looking for a ball screen. In and out against Jones. Running out of real estate. Skips it away. Dean intercepts it. Not before the double dribble. Just the body moving a little faster than the ball.
Yeah, that's a tough one. They want to push out in transition. That's the offensive look that they wanted. But, I mean, credit to their defense for getting that stop. You see everybody collapse into whoever drives, and Bradley Reed saw that passing lane and read it really well. So, I mean, nothing they can't do to get this stop back. But Birmingham need a little bit tightened up on this offensive possession. And, I mean, if it's that easy, make it that easy. Get downhill, get yourself to the free throw line.
McGregor putting his head down, getting straight to the business. Will head to the free throw line for the first time this afternoon. Ferris Mughal will take a seat after making that huge, timely three ball moments ago.
I think Ferris was the first bench points for Birmingham. Am I wrong?
It was, indeed.
Yeah.
Cool as the other side of the pillow. McGregor knocks down both. Here comes Newcastle. 1 point advantage. Jones, a little shake and bake. Nowhere to go. Hendry. 10 on the clock. Hendry has made a couple from the same spot. Not this time. And the Rockets with an opportunity to lift off and regain the lead. And who else would you want the ball in the hands of than Blaine or Powell? Powell takes the body and he is fouled. Both teams having a very difficult time just containing one another.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a tough one there. You want to try to play as, tight defense as you can if you're Jones, but that's a tough one for him because that puts him up to 4 fouls. Still a lot of basketball to play, and especially knowing if this game can come down to the wire. On the off chance that you head into overtime, that's one where you don't want somebody fouled out, especially as crucial as Jones is to this roster.
Well, these teams all the way back on January 4th went into double overtime where Newcastle survived 111-108. Zach Powell to the line. .76% on the season. Calmly knocks down the first. And the Rockets with an opportunity to go back on top. And the Birmingham Rockets with a 1 point advantage. As the capacity crowd here at the university looks on, Trundley with space, fades away, and Sam Trundley delivering as he has all season long.
He just looked over here and gave me a little eyebrow raise. Sam is just so himself, man.
Getting a little camera time. Powell, nowhere to go, steps inside. Zach Powell answers back.
Yeah, and this is the game that I don't want to see either team playing right now. Can't go bucket for bucket. Stops are what's going to win you this game at the end of the minutes.
Trundley, Hendry attacks, nowhere to go. Jones, Trundley, left over in the corner. Jones unloads, and Hendry gets another opportunity. Dean, bodies flying. Trundley, 3 on the clock, fades to his left, and Zach Powell can't keep up with it. Blocked by Zach Powell! Meets him at the top! What a play, but it's stolen away! Dean over the top and Bradley Dean bringing the house down here in Newcastle!
Bradley Dean knows that the fans are watching him in the comments. I see his family comments. commenting that dunk was for you guys.
What are we witnessing here?
Yeah, that whole string of possessions, I'm actually so glad I'm on commentary right now and not stats, because I can't imagine the stat line that would have to be going in the computer right now. That was quite the back and forth.
Well, McGregor returns to the free throw lines, and there are fingernails littered all across the university's floor as both teams back and forth like a seesaw. Neither team willing to let go of the rope. But there can only be one. And again, as we have been time and time again, exactly how we started this game, 0-0.
Yeah, timeout. I'm actually happy for the timeout. I feel like I needed a breather, so I can't imagine how the people out on the floor are feeling right now. But, you know, this is where you see the players that are stepping up, and everybody really can. You know, Hendry, who at times hasn't seen a lot of minutes on the floor, has really worked himself into the roster, is out there getting crucial offensive rebounds. You know, and then you've got everybody on Birmingham that started this game really showing themselves. That starting five has really been their powerhouse. When you lose, you know, Orland Jackman coming off, and, you know, they've really had an answer for Martin Gale. You know, this five is so running into fatigue minutes at the same time, but so, you know, in tune with each other to be able to getting easy buckets.
The Rockets with 5 guys in double figures, only 3 bench points, as Mughal recorded the 3 ball a little bit earlier for Newcastle. Bradley Dean with the lion's share of the points, 29, followed behind a 16 of Trunley, and of course Thames with 14. Well, what do we have here on a Saturday afternoon? Well, just the opportunity of a lifetime for one of these teams to go to the promised land. But who will it be? The number 2 seed, the Newcastle Knights, or the team representing the Midlands, the Rockets? 2 minutes to answer the dying question. Trunley inside the Jones, spins off. Trunley left with space, dribbles, weaves, gets to his spot, takes the body of Blaine, and he's fouled.
Sam hunted that one. Ron really did. You know, Birmingham played great defense there. Ron had him. That puts him up to 4 fouls, but great patience there from Sam to end up drawing that foul.
But because he shoots the midi so well, you have to respect it when he gives you the pump. Sam Trunley and the Newcastle Knights with a 2-point lead. 140. Rockets, your turn. Powell, right to it. Extra pass. Donaldson unloads. Eric Donaldson laces it up in Birmingham. Back on top. Final 90 seconds. Jones gets into the body, and Newcastle back on top.
Great play from Jones there. He doesn't use the screen, comes off of it, and just gets himself a bully ball bucket.
1:15 remains. Powell looking to get 10 toes in the paint. Hangs forever and somehow finds an inch of daylight and finishes off the window. Newcastle down 1. Trunley with it on the 1s and 2s, defended by Blaine, rises over the top, and Trunley, Sam Trunley with the rainbow. Newcastle back up.
If you didn't know his name, get to know his name. But we're running it, I think, a little clock issue here. Under 2 minutes, every time the ball is scored, the ball should be stopping. See, I do know my rules here. The clock should be stopping. So the clock continued after that basket. So we just put some time back on.
The game that will be talked about for years to come. Back and forth. Both teams holding on to the rope with just a pinky, kicking each other, pinching each other, biting each other, but neither will let go. Who has a little left in the tank?
Yeah. These are stamina seconds at this point.
49.4 seconds. Newcastle, 1 point advantage after the Sam Truntley rainbow fadeaway over Ronald Blaine. Zach Powell on your star watch. Keep your eyes locked on him. He's the game changer. He thrives in these moments.
Trying to edit the time in this crucial moment as a table official would be gut-wrenching.
Yeah. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Powell looking to get straight to business. He gets to the fadeaway, but it rims out. You don't need the foul here. You don't need the foul if you're the Rockets. Why?
Yeah, Charles Smith with his hands up asking why as well.
Coach Charles Smith looking like the shrugs emoji. And rightfully so.
Yeah, you didn't need the foul here, and it sends definitely a very good free throw shooter to the line.
Bradley, 79% on the season. Flawless on the first.
And the trouble here is still 2, maybe 3 possessions left in a 36 seconds, depending on how long Birmingham take here. If they go, they've got to go quick on this one.
Bradley Dean holds the nerve. And the Newcastle Knights with a 3-point advantage. The traveling fans looking on nervously.
All right, Drew. What's Charles Smith saying in this timeout right now? Down 3.
If you're Newcastle, you got to be thinking Coach Elderkin is telling his team to run everyone off the three-point line. So if I'm Charles Smith, I'm running a quick action as getting Zach Powell down inside early. Hopefully be able to draw a little body and get an and one. But if not, I play the free throw game for now on this possession. What about you?
Yeah, I think as well. I actually completely agree with you. But yeah, I think, who the ball is going to be going into right now is Zach Powell.
What you don't want to do, which we see time and time again from players, is they panic and they take an off-balance wild three when you have plenty of time.
Yeah, it's about slowing it down. Those, 5 seconds can feel like 2 minutes in reality when you're out there.
Well, the fans on the stream have got what they're asked for, sacrificing their Saturday afternoon to watch BCB action. And I can almost guarantee that none of them have been disappointed by this matchup. Here we go. Powell nearly stripped away, steps around, Zach Powell overcooks it. Now you got a foul. Now you got a foul. Zach Powell with his easiest look of the afternoon. Probably was surprised to see all the real estate in front and just left the chicken in the oven a little bit too long.
Yeah, just a little too long. A little bit of an overcook there. That's such a tough shot for him, but that also sees Ronald Blaine heading to the bench with his 5th foul, which is huge in these final moments. Zach Powell, obviously, that's a tough one. Those ones that you look at when you get in these moments, coming up clutch. We know he's capable of knocking that down. We know he's capable of those layups, but yeah, it just doesn't fall for him.
Ronald Blaine, the former Newcastle Knight, coming back home to the British city that birthed him. And his evening will be finished. Bradley Dean sinks the first. Bradley Dean with a hammer and nail looking to nail the coffin of the Rockets. Buries both. Now I'm going to flip it to you.
Okay.
This possession here, you're down 5. What do you have to be thinking if you're Charles Smith?
Got to go fast on the first one. You got to get a bucket quick. I think you go for a quick 2-pointer out the gate, force Mark to call a timeout. You've got obviously now more Ronald Blaine on the floor, but, I was on stats last season and watched Martingale knock down a game-winning 3 in overtime in this corner just down here. So, there's people out there on the floor for Birmingham that are very capable of tying this game. So I definitely do not think that Birmingham are out of this game by any means. Charles Smith battle-tested in these moments to know what he's doing and to draw up off the floor. He's got good heads on shoulders on that bench right now looking at what he's drawing up. So it's just trust and execution and defensive execution from Mark Elderkin's side.
Mark Elderkin and the Newcastle Knights looking to continue the dream season. A Bucks championship already in the locker. Runner up for the very first time. And now looking to punch their ticket to become the first team to receive the golden ticket to the championship game. Here's the Rockets. Powell. Seeing bodies. Gotta go quick. Fades away. Powell temporarily gets to it. And that was probably 5 times more difficult than the previous look.
Yeah, and he still knocks it down. I mean, that man can score. He knows what to do when he gets in there. So, but just a little bit more patience, tougher bucket. He knows how to knock those down, and he did it. So, 3-point game here. Timeout, Newcastle. Goodness, I'm nervous.
Zach Powell flirting with a triple-double. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists to go along with 2 steals. Newcastle wanting to talk things over. Free throw shooters for the Knights. Jaron Thames, 80%. Sam Trunley at 80%. And Bradley Dean, 79%. Just get it to one of those guys.
To one of those guys. You need ball in hands.
Whatever you do, by any means necessary. The Rockets on the deathbed, wired up, one eye shut. Newcastle looking to pull the plug and take the life away of the Rockets. Donaldson, 4 fouls. Hence why he's on the bench. Newcastle struggling to get it in. And out of the 3-headed monster, you send Newcastle's best free throw shooter, 80% on the season. However, this afternoon has seen his struggles. 3 for 7 so far today.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the right foul. It's exactly what we want to do. Foul as fast as you can. Get them to the free throw line. These are huge free throws for Thames right here.
And a poet once said, the palms are sweaty, the knees and arms are heavy. But not on the second one. 4-point ball game.
Gotta
15
go.
seconds to go.
Gotta
go quick. McGregor. Donaldson with daylight. And touches nothing but air. And the Newcastle Knights can smell it, can feel it, can taste it.
Yeah, and that's not a bad look for Donaldson. You know, I'm not mad at that shot for him. I don't think it's an out-of-rhythm shot for him. That's the shot we probably wanted him to take. He's trailing from the three, catches high and goes up with it. Just doesn't go in, and that's where fatigue sets in. This game has been so back and forth, such a dog fight, and it's to the final seconds here for Newcastle to be able to pull out this win if they can.
That's exactly what it was, because he's 5 from 11, and we've seen him make 4 or 5 from that same exact spot. But the difference, it's a lot of mileage, 36 minutes on the legs, and that changes things.
Yeah, and one stat I'm looking forward to looking at is how many lead changes we had in this game, because it was back and forth, back and forth. I think that's going to be a big stat line at the end of this game.
Absolutely. Well, this one has lived up every single moment, but there can only be one. The crowd, you hear the chants, looking to finish it off. Nearly turns it over there. But Bradley.
I'm seeing a lot of teeth and a lot of smiles right now.
That's a little bit different from the vibe about 5 minutes ago.
Very different. Very different. It was...
I saw fingernails in mouth. Plural.
Yeah.
Bradley Dean, 79%. But has been clutch here in the fourth quarter from the free throw line. Newcastle reaching the century mark. Up 6 as they go offense for defense as Riley goes in for Trumley. One last opportunity for the Rockets. Zach Powell with the prayer. The ball tipped around, and that will do it. The Newcastle Knights punched their ticket after a couple of haymakers, uppercuts, jabs from both teams, but ultimately it was the men in the business blue that stood on business at the end.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. The score, 101-95, I'm not surprised about. It was such a high-scoring first quarter. The average of looking, it was going to be 100 regardless, so I love that from them. Newcastle able to pull out this win. It was a gritty win, very much the style of basketball that they're used to playing. And what an exciting atmosphere for BCB heading into the inaugural championship game that Newcastle Knights have just punched their ticket to.
What a showcase. If you haven't already, subscribe to the British Championship Basketball YouTube page. Link up with the socials, because there is more heat underway as there's a semifinal tomorrow, and one of those teams will be joining the Newcastle Knights for the championship game. The Reading Rockets linking up with Milton Keynes Breakers. Which one of those teams will join the dance?
Yeah, I mean, what a game. Those two teams, both very much worthy opponents of Newcastle in the final, so looking forward to looking at that game tomorrow as well.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be on the ones and twos. Myself, Drew Lasker, along with Sarah Burkett. The Newcastle Knights, 101. Commiserations to the Birmingham Rockets and Charles Smith as they go down 95, and also the traveling fan base showing support here in the Northeast. But today, It's all about the Knights. As we say, good night from Newcastle.
just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?